I gotta tell you guys, Stargirl Season 2 has been one crazy epic ride. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review on the first half of Season 2 of Stargirl. I have apologized for never being able to do the episodes. I just could never get to them on time, so I decided to wait for episode 6 to finish and do a full-on review of part 2 of Season 2 of Stargirl, since we're comprised of 13 episodes. Either way, though, I gotta say, after seeing that last episode, this was the perfect time to do it. And first off, I'm gonna just say that I like the fact that they're keeping the brightness of what made Stargirl a different show. The brightness, the humor, and all that other stuff that made it funny and cool at times. There's not all that dark stuff like DC tends to do, but keeping some of that brightness. Love that. But I also love the fact that they also kept in the fact of some choreographed fights, which, by the way, episode 6, that was one of the most intense fights I've seen. That's even better than when the JSA were fighting Sportmaster and Tigress back in episode 5 of season 1. That blows that one out of the park. But what I also loved was the camera action they did, the great camera work they did of each member of the team doing a different fighting pose, and they instantly switched to another member of their team doing the same one. Unbelievable. I love that stuff right there. This shows that they were not losing their touch here in season 2. They really wanted to go to a next level, especially with the last episode, which was showed the presence of the actual physical form of Eclipso, our big bad for this season. Oh my god, that guy was just wow. But I'm going to save him for last here. Let's also go into the fact that in this season, they were showing something of a theme of light versus dark, and in the fact that they were showing us the difference between bad and evil in the form of Shade and Sportsmaster and Tigress. Why do I say Sportmaster and Tigress? Because they break out of prison earlier, but it's not so they can start trouble with the Whitmore family like they did. But speaking of the Whitmore family, it seems that the Crocs and the Whitmore family have an unusual relationship here, as it was shown to us in this season when Sportsmaster and Tigers broke out because they wanted to see their daughter in her tryouts because they want her to have a future, whereas they, from the sounds of it, didn't have one. They want their daughter to be the first female quarterback and stuff, and they truly love their daughter unconditionally. But either way, when they did show up, they were using the Whitmores to help them see their daughter and stuff. And they didn't, and sure, they felt some awkwardness and uneasiness and stuff. But as time went on through the episode, yeah, Pat and Sportmaster showing a little more of what seemed to be a friendship they had going in season 1 that we didn't get to explore much, which was explored here. And then you got Miss Whitmore and Tigress forming a bond over their shared thing of being mothers and stuff. So it pretty much just goes in line right there. But speaking of Artemis, must I say, they did a funny scene here with Courtney offering her an apple. And let me just tell you, that scene with that apple, it was literally giving us a scene of the very definition of the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And I say that in the form of Artemis as she shows her jockness, the same as her parents, and in the fact on how, like, Crocs don't give and we don't forget, as she crushed that apple when doing it. I was just like, oh yeah, that definitely was a scene to represent the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Oh, that was so funny. I couldn't help but continue to laugh at that. It was too much. I could stop laughing for a while for after that. But now, having said that, another bad character to talk about, and when I say bad as in bad guy, compared to evil, which is Eclipso, that is Shade, who in this season isn't the bad guy, but is not a good guy. He's in more of a neutral ground territory, and the only thing he gained to Blue Valley was to find the Black Diamond, which Eclipso is a prisoner of until the end of the last episode, and that he wanted to find it, get rid of it before he would cause any damage, because it's clear that Eclipso caused damage before in the past, so much so that Pat has only told his wife about what happened happened between Eclipso and the JSA and not Courtney. He's told Courtney some things, but he hasn't told her everything. And whatever that is he's keeping from her, that he's only keeping with his wife, it must be something super nasty that he thinks is going to scare Court along with the other kids of the JSA. And no doubt it is, because let's not forget who Eclipso is. But back to Shade, he pretty much in this season was kind of being like Icicle, forming a relationship sort of thing with Mrs. Whitmore, Courtney's mother and stuff. I'm sorry if I can't remember her name off the top of my head right now. I apologize for that, guys. Except in this one, he didn't have a crush on her. It's more like he just felt she's the best one to approach to form a contacting spot with Pat and the JSA and stuff, so they can understand that while not exactly friends or allies, they have a common goal, but Shade wants to take care of this alone, and he just wants them to inform him of it and stuff, but mostly through her. But now, having said all that about the bad guys and their differences between the evil of Eclipso, let's get into the JSA members here and how it's showing us what they've been through and what they're doing now ever since season 1 ended. It actually gives us an aftermath of each of them and how they've been affected from that battle. You got a Yolanda who has PTSD from the whole Brainwave Jr. thing and killing Brainwave for his father, and in the fact on how that could be used against her going up against Eclipso later on down the line. But also, we still seem to find out that sadly, her parents still haven't seemed to move on from that mistake she made all those months back and stuff. And I'm just gonna be like, hey, I hope these parents of hers eventually can find a way to move on. Because here's the thing. Okay, yes, as teenagers, we do some dumb things that it can shame the parents and stuff. But eventually, you got to move on. Because if you just stay stuck with that forever, it's just going to consume your life. That the world's changing and everything, and you just continue to want to be held prisoner to something that's just a trivial teenage thing. Even bigger trivial, might I add. Yes, what she did, even stupider than usual, but she's ready. She's shown that she's ready to move on. Whereas, unfortunately for them, no is the case. And why do I say that? Well, it's because she got a summer job and she's going to summer school, even though she made straight A's. So I'm sorry for you right there, Yolanda. But now let's having said that, also let's hurry up and talk about Stargirl, since she's the main star here, and the fact that after beating the ISA in season 1, she was all about being Stargirl 24/7 and neglecting everything in her life. That this is the reason why the title is called Stargirl Summer School, because of doing her just Stargirl 24/7. It made her neglect some of her classes that she needed to take summer school in order to move on to the next grade or be held back and repeat the grade she's in. Girl, like I said though, teenagers, hey, as someone who was once a teenager myself, like all of you, that's exactly what we dealt with. So no surprise there. But luckily, she eventually began to finally see what Pat and the others were trying to tell her about that be Courtney Whitmore first, Stargirl second, is when she met someone who was everything she thought she was in season 1. That being Green Lantern's daughter Jenny, who yeah, has the whole legacy thing, and Courtney's jealous of that. But what she is blinded in that is that she doesn't know that Jenny doesn't have everything. She doesn't have a family, which she wants, a loving family. And she has a twin brother who is lost out there somewhere, and she's just looking for him. And she's got all these crazy upped emotions, Jenny does, that right now it's affecting her whenever she uses that Green Lantern ring. But something tells me later on in the season when she comes back, because she just showed up in 2 episodes, but I believe she'll be needed to take on Eclipso, is that when she comes back, she'll be of great help. And I think her emotions will be better under control, that she'll better be able to use that Green Lantern power. She's already shown right now on how to seem to learn how to fly and stuff and kind of use it. But I feel next time we'll see her use it fully. And then moving on into like Cameron, who Stargirl has a crush on. a more deeper depth into their relationship is shown here. There's a mutual feeling there, but unfortunately, though, her Stargirl duties continue to get in the way of that. And now, come on, let's move on over to others because I don't want to keep this going on for too long. Is that Mike? He was feeling lonely at first, left out of the whole superhero thing. That it ended up leading to him partnering up with the genie of Johnny Thunder. And I loved how when he first met him and learning he needs to be Pacific when knowing what to wish for led to so many funny scenes there. Unfortunately, though, that it didn't end up working out, and he ended up saying he wished he never found that pin that Johnny Thunder left him for another kid who's his actual partner in the comic series, that being Jacobs. So I believe this Jacobs kid will show up later on too. Now, will he be a big help facing Eclipso? I don't know. Who knows? I don't think so, though. But now, having said that, let's move on into Beth, who in this season is going through a rough patch as she's finding out her perfect little life with her family isn't so perfect because she finds out her parents might be getting a divorce, and she didn't tell anyone about that but Rick. And why is that? Well, let's just say right now it's something we all suspected in season 1. There's a romance going on there, romance tension going on there between Beth and Rick, as if they might be together, like they might become a couple. And if that does happen, hey, I'm all for it. I think the actual actors work well together. I like their chemistry as they're talking and to each other in different scenes and stuff. But as for Rick, he didn't really have much to go off of for right now, other than the fact that ever since he defeated the ISA and defeated Grundy, he's now all about his being Rick first and Our Man second, something that Courtney needed to work on at the beginning here. But either way, though, I'm glad things are going well for him and how everything's being set up as they now have to face the big bad himself, Eclipso. But before I get to him, let me just say we finally got to learn a little more about Cindy's past and show the vulnerability in her, despite the fact on how she has been portrayed as this mean Queen Bee girl at the beginning of the season of the series. And that is the fact that yes, she killed her mother, which she mentioned in season 1, but it turns out it looks like that wasn't her intention at all. Whatever happened to her, it has something to do with what her father did to her. Because it turns out her and her mother tried to stay as far away from Dragon King as possible, but somehow he was able to find them, do whatever he did to Cindy, that it caused Cindy to kill her own mother, which she does not like. Anytime she thinks about it, you see that humane side of her and how heartbroken she was about that. And unfortunately, though, that along with other stuff was used against her when she thought she could control what was in the Black Diamond, that being Eclipso. She thought Eclipso was hers to control, but she just didn't realize until this past week's episode she was the one being controlled. And boy, being controlled she was, because Eclipso, when he finally broke free of that diamond, which is what he wanted, manipulating the JSA and ISA to get to that point, when he made that physical appearance, it just breathed the presence of evil, straight on evil. And you could even feel it in the actor, the music, everything when he made that uprising scene of his physical appearance. And now he's escaped. He's become that little kid that we saw at the beginning of the first scene in season 2. And man, you can just tell trouble's about to come. Because what was his first act when he came out? He killed the fiddler's son Isaac, and then he supposedly killed Cindy, but she's still alive, just probably in another dimension. And just his presence alone really shook everyone, all of the JSA, Courtney's family, to their core, that they're just terrified, and terrified they should be. We're talking about Eclipso here, people. Eclipso, the former god of wrath, who actually has the power to take on Spectre. Spectre, he is a powerful character. So I think that's more than enough definition to tell you about this Eclipso guy. So this makes you wonder, how is the JSA going to face someone like this? I mean, the Justice League faced him, and they had a hard time with him as well. Oh man, it's just crazy because if any of y'all know Eclipso, he can make you see things that aren't there. He can use the darkness against you. And pretty much before he even made his physical appearance and he indirectly fought the JSA, it really showed the shiftingness of how everything seems like they're in a haunted house and stuff, such as when they were in the school indirectly fighting him, with making them see things move, seeing pictures that weren't there. Whoa. See, guys, this is what made season two so great for the first half. It just makes me hyped to see what more is Eclipso gonna do going forward. How are the JSA gonna fight back on this? How will they fight the darkness in them with all of this? The possibilities are just endless, guys, and I could go on with more here, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there because I think I pretty much stated all of the real major stuff that's happening this season, along with some of the small details, but you get the point nevertheless. So let's end it all right there, guys. And hey, if you enjoy my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!